In law, is the Abuja Municipal Area Council a local government? Would you say AMAC is a local government?
Really, AMAC is not a local government per se. The man that has been given the assignment, the FCT minister, cannot on his own be delegate. No, delegatus, not control delegate. You cannot delegate what has been delegated when we say local government, but act whatever is inside.
If you feel that the market will not of course, it's so. Fundamental right now that you have to force it. If they have its reasons. In this, the confusion in this issue is that we really don't know who is the accuser and who is the judge, who is the prosecutor. Jubril raised the issue of the house was defensive.
Hello viewers and welcome to the program Legally Speaking. My name is Chijioke Kanu. Legally Speaking is on politics, policies and power. We are today going to look at the issue of political parties. Whose party are they? The political parties in Nigeria. You will know the details when I return from this break. You will also meet my guest. Thank you for staying tuned. This is Legally Speaking and welcome to the program. As I said from the opener, we're looking at the issue of political parties in Nigeria, and I have a regular guest here, Prince Al Mokoma, who is a legal practitioner in Abuja. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, viewers.
Well, the topic is political parties in Nigeria, not in the context of the historicals, but in the context of the practical political parties that are here, not the NCNC and the UPN or the Action Group or whatever. We're talking about the ones that are indeed dispensation since 1999. Now, from beginning, we had a legion of political parties, like I think 56. Then recently, somewhere they registered and other new ones were registered. The way the political parties operate, are they actually matching with the wave of democracy? Are they really doing that?
I don't think so. The reason is simple. Constitutionally,
Yes.
they are supposed to own the parties. Any member of a party is supposed to own the party.
Yes.
And how do you own the party? You do your monthly subscription, the annual subscription, as the case may be. And under the Constitution, INEC is supposed to investigate all these things and to know how their funds are coming in.
Yes.
And what they do with the funds.
Yes.
So since they don't do that, to the best of my knowledge,
Yes.
Most of the people who belong to parties don't even have a card. They have a card to show that they are members of that party, but they've never paid one dime or one kobo.
Yes, because if you look at the cards, membership cards, there are places where your dues are marked, and most of them are completely empty. So how do they get their funding?
Well, that's what we are saying. People have hijacked the process. Few people arrogate to themselves as owners of those parties, and that's why impunity is in those parties. Most of the parties, their problem is internal democracy, and what brings internal democracy is impunity. Bringing in candidates that are not liked or voted by the people or members of those parties. They only come in by suggestions that won't you be a senator? Okay, come. You are going to be our next senator. You understand? So that is the way they run it. And those who don't have any say because they don't own the parties.
Now, the political parties as they are constituted today, apart from PDP and probably now APC, maybe the ACN, the defunct ACN, the rest are tied to personalities. You hear about Chekwaso Korie and his party. You hear about this guy and his party, and his party. In fact, before the death of Ikemba, he was the party. APGA is Ikemba. Ikemba is APGA.
And they use his photograph.
Even at death, is that what it's supposed to be?
Well, it's just what we've just spoken just now. It's not supposed to be so. That is idol worshiping. It's not a political party. Political party is not supposed to be owned by any individual. In short, by the constitution, you can't own the political parties.
Yes.
Because you need to, everybody has an equal stake. Because you pay the same amount of money and subscription. If it's 100 naira every month, every week, every day, so be it. But now, they are being run like the former defunct Western region, defunct First, Second Republic, just before independence and just post-independence.
Yes.
That's the way they are running. Individuals own those parties. And that's what was handed over to this
generation of political class. But yes, but there's argument in some quarters that the political parties we had in the Second Republic were more vibrant, were more democratic, were more organized in terms of intellectual base, in terms of programs, in terms of policies. Compare the UPN, the PDP, the MPN, the NPP, I think it's GMPP, and all those parties of the Second Republic, that they are actually stronger in terms of ideological base, or maybe discipline, financial transparency, and all that, compared to those of this republic.
The reason was simple. They were more serious politicians. Who are you talking about? Is it Chief Obafemi Awolowo you are talking about? Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe?
Aminu Kano,
the man that GNPP.
Yes, Ibrahim Waziri.
People you are talking about, or Sardauna of Sokoto.
Or MPN, Shagari.
Those are the people. Most of them we've mentioned. They are intellectual gurus themselves. So intellectualism is the watchword. But today we have political parties who lean on godfatherism. 90% of politicians had godfathers, and they are being sponsored or imposed on the people. So there is no room for intellectual work there. You sleep and wake up. Most of them don't go out. They go to the golf club. That's where they are made governors and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and there's this worry that the way the political parties are drifting right now in this dispensation, that it's almost only two political parties that is alive. That is PDP after their victory in the Supreme Court, and APC that is in power. The rest are shadows of themselves.
Well, even those two parties are the same. Because today you see him in PDP, tomorrow you see him in APC. Because if you go to the National Assembly, you hardly identify who is PDP
and who is APC.
It's not that they are doing democracy, but they all belong to the same party somehow. They've been together somehow. So even if you look at the chairmen and members of various committees, there is no way to. Ideologically, they are not different. They are the same people. Most of them, like most of the APC members, were PDP.
You raise the issue of ideology. Yeah. Is there any ideology in the political atmosphere as we see it today?
The ideology they are still using, I think, was drafted by late Bola Ige, the former Attorney General of the Federation.
All right.
He was the one that drafted those ideology they used. The same AD. You know, if there was AD before, he drafted for AD. PDP came, adopted most part of it.
Okay.
As a then PDP.
Yes.
And I don't think there is much difference if you look into their. Some governors will go to the state and start doing their own. They are not even following the party ideology, so-called ideology.
Well, when we talk about ideology, people will think that it's not the old Soviet and American extreme ideologies. That is the capitalism and socialism. There is communism. There's those things are no longer here. So what exactly are we pursuing here?
I think our ideology is godfatherism. That is the ideology. What do you know to take power? When you take power, he stays in his bedroom to dictate what you are going to do in government house.
My friend once told me, he's not a Nigerian, he once told me that in Africa generally, not only in Nigeria, that we have not understood the meaning of politics, as it were, the purpose of politics, politicking. He is of the opinion that politics here is still a means of earning a living. Is that what we see in the parties here? Can anybody say so of the political parties in Nigeria?
No, you see, politics is everywhere. So rather, I will agree with you in the sense that what we do here is politics, not democracy.
Yes.
Because politics is everywhere, in your bedroom, in your house, everywhere you play politics. Because there must be hierarchy. But when you talk about democracy, like we used to say in the Second Republic, them go crazy. You know? So what is lacking is democratic rule. That is what is happening. So most of them are seeing politics as a survivor instead, according to him. I agree with him. But they are not democratized at all. What they do here is grab food. All what they do, they are hungry.
Yes, bread and butter.
Bread and butter. Even the businessmen, so-called people in Nigeria, is food they are still looking for. I think what is Governor Fayose called the stomach of Africa. That is what is ruling Africa. Hunger. Hunger, not that the food or these things are not there.
But the political parties are supposed to shape the way, the government, they say, is a medium by which the state service its existence. Now, the political parties are supposed to shape governance so that the commonwealth of the nation is distributed evenly, distributed down the line.
But that is the duty of it. If you look at the duties of political parties or functions,
yes,
those are the main thing they are coming to do.
Yes.
But because you've said it all, that they don't even know what they are there to do. That's the problem.
All right. When we come back from this break, we will look at the other aspects of the political parties. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you are still watching Legally Speaking, and we are talking about the all-important issue of political parties in Nigeria. Who owns these parties? Well, as we were talking before we went on this short break, the political parties in Nigeria are not shaping the democratic climate. It's like a shop. You own your shop, you have your boys. That's what is obtainable now. But you are talking about the role of the political parties as in the constitution, that they are supposed to shape this political climate. But look at the quality of the political class today and the political membership of the political parties today. You think those quality of membership can shape the political opinion of political class, political atmosphere in Nigeria?
No, they cannot. And that's why we are in this
quagmire.
Yeah, they cannot, because it's what you have, you give out. They don't have it. Intellectually, most of them are not ready. The capacity-wise, they don't have it. So they cannot, because it's just like something you have a passion for. You must have a passion for something to drive it properly. But what they do here is they don't even have the passion for leadership. A lot of our leaders go through them at all classes. Even most husbands are not ready for the role they've created for themselves.
Home leadership, yes.
They are not. So they can't shape anything until you get it properly. And how do we get it properly? One, like the last time we were discussing about elections. If elections are properly done, and people like the recent Supreme Court decision, that that if you present yourself and you know you are not supposed to be there, you are there, you pay back everything.
But that is in the Constitution, in the Electoral Act. It was supposed to be the role, even the Supreme Court has said it is the duty of the political class, the political parties, to screen candidates.
They don't screen. What they do is that they, the people own these parties, not the people, the generality of the people, but individuals own these parties. And
Yes.
it's who they want that goes in there. They just impose candidates on people, and that's why you see people moving from one party to the other.
Yes, and there's a lacuna somewhere in the membership of political parties. The Constitution says you must resign from one political party if you are a member. If you are not a member of another political party, you can contest under one party if you are not a member of another party, which means you are going to be a member of one political party at a time, right?
Yeah.
But now, what we see is that people move from one party and bet on another the next day and then become candidates. What manner of political movement is that?
No, the reason is simple. It's still what we are talking about is impunity here. When I remember a particular politician
Yes.
who within 2 days was a member of 3 political parties because there was an election coming up. The court disqualified the politician here. The politician ran to another party. When they saw that it was not going to be, they ran to the newest party that was becoming popular. The same.
They are looking for candidates.
Yes. So such type of politician, it shows desperandum.
But what is the position of the law? You know that many people lost their seat because they never resigned from the other side.
Yeah.
We should not wait for them to win the election before we bring the process into confusion, because if you don't leave, you didn't resign from a PDP, you went and contested in APC and won, and then they went and take you out at the tribunal level. You are supposed to pay for all the cost of those things we have lost in between. Yes,
and then whatever you've earned erroneously.
And of course that has been settled. But then dragging everybody into this, of course the Electoral Act made provision for punishment for that political party.
Yeah.
A fine of 500,000.
But
It has never been enforced. Nowhere.
It's not been enforced, and that is a problem of INEC. INEC should take up that. They will make a lot of money there.
Even INEC, it seems to be confused about the position of the law, because they never do anything except to go to court.
But they have lawyers there.
They have lawyers
They
there.
even employ the services of very experienced lawyers.
I thought they also draw from the office of the chambers of the Attorney General.
They do on just like a consultancy basis. Not
Okay.
permanent anymore.
Because they need to look at
they need to look for
at these things, season law, so that they look at these laws and monitor its enforcement. If they believe that you do not resign, because they say that when you bring your paper at INEC should collect it. They won't screen you. It's the duty of the political party. So political party can bring anybody to make sure that somebody they don't want to go do not go, even if you lose.
That's what they've been doing. But I think with this revolution in the electoral process now, through the judicial activism, and
Yes.
things will take shape very soon. Very, very soon. All these lacunas will be corrected.
Now, I've never seen any political party publish its account.
And it's a constitutional requirement.
I've never seen it.
It's a constitutional requirement if you go through
Yes, it
those
is.
sections.
It is.
Or under the political party sections.
Because the fund of the political parties belongs to a group of people. And there is protection.
They can't, even the money that comes from abroad, some people have US wing,
Yes.
UK chapter.
Diaspora, yeah. The
They
diaspora.
ought to send those monies to INEC. Let INEC know who is bringing this money and how is it done within 21 days.
Days of receipt of the money.
Yes, within 21 days.
Parties
But they've never done it.
I've seen conventions, but I've not seen any party publish its financial record.
Yes.
And that should be done.
It's a constitutional requirement. It's a constitutional requirement. But it's INEC and INEC alone that can enforce that. Where they have failed to enforce, well, lawyers should go to court and compel, make the court to compel them to do that. But it's a constitutional provision.
Yes, and I was saying before we went on break also that, look, the trend today is that we are seeing the same kind of people moving from one political party to another. Recently, PDP has said, look, we make a return, we make it point of entry, a liberal point of entry for returnees. Meaning that you may not know exactly who will be PDP in the next 2 weeks, and who will be APC in the next 3 weeks, and who will be other parties in the next 2 weeks.
And unfortunately, those people they are calling, some of them are already occupying elected positions.
That is
So
why
how are they going to do it?
that is where the problem is.
If they are going, they have to resign their public offices.
But they never that is not the law, as it were, because people Tambuwal crossed over to PDP, from PDP to APC, and sat completely and finished the term as speaker. And then when he left the post of speaker, it was to go and contest governorship election. He defected and then continued. But very important, is there a difference between defection and resignation?
No, defection, definitely there will be different now. If you resign from a party, you put in a letter.
Yes.
And give the party
notice. Yeah.
For maybe 30 days or that is resignation. But defections means you just abandon the party and jump. It's just like you jump ship. The ship is there leaving, and you just jump from the wharf. No, from the wharf
to the ship,
and then take over the steering.
Because people get confused. People who don't understand the law didn't know the difference between the two.
Because defection is even more than resignation. Because how many people have we seen resigning from?
Yeah, everybody just defected. They will gather themselves in the house.
Even the former president, Chief Obasanjo, all what he did that I saw was tearing his file. He did not say I've resigned. At least he did not do the formal.
He's supposed to write a letter to the world chairman
and say, look, even accept that
his resignation.
Because the resignation must be accepted.
Yes.
Yes.
It's only when they didn't accept it that you are free, because at that point nobody can stop you.
No, you are not free, because what is the essence of refusal?
And there may be something
the
party
you
yes
pay back
yes
all what you are owing them.
Yes.
Or if you have in possession with
party properties, you return it.
That's the essence of resignation. You're giving them notice. Of about
but if you are defected, just go to the house and say, look, from today I'm a member of
I'm no longer a member of
this, I'm a member of that. Meanwhile, they are holding their money.
Sometimes the essence of defection is to avoid paying back those debts.
Now there's this trend that everybody moves with a winning party. If you look at the American system, which we purport to have copied, people don't jump from one party to another on the basis of who won the election. But in this country, it's like once a party emerges victorious in its poll, everybody moves from the other party or to the winning party, making opposition very difficult.
No, it's lack of integrity. Because definitely there are individuals who are jumping.
Or is it greed?
No, integrity, when you've lost integrity, everything is encompassing. It's a one bowl of soup.
Yes.
When you've lost integrity, you must be greedy.
Yeah.
You must be selfish.
Yeah.
Everything self is what you have.
Yeah.
You don't have anything for the people. So greed, self-centeredness, selfishness, everything is encompassing.
And that shows some kind of lack of ideological base.
No, when you lack integrity, which ideology? Integrity is the human being.
Integrity is the human being.
Lack of conscience, concession.
Yeah, finally, this party, by the law, belongs to the people.
It belongs to the people. It ought to. And that's the way the Constitution has said.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Al,
very much.
for coming to the program.
Thank you.
Well, how time flies. We would have loved to go on and on and on with that topic, but this is where we call it a day today. Don't forget to join us in the discussion on the social media addresses on the screen right now. My name is Chijioke Kanu. Thanking you for listening. Goodbye.